What's going on, Paisanos? V here, coming at you, well, with a marker watch today. Well, not really a marker watch, but more of a banlist marker watch. I really like doing these videos, even though I argue with everybody. I enjoy the arguing, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna say I don't. And I enjoy the conversation, because the banlist is basically how we're gonna be able to shape the way we're gonna be playing this game moving forward for the next couple of months. It's a big deal, actually. This banlist is going to be the banlist Yu-Gi-Oh! Players will be getting their invite to at regionals. And if it's a bad banlist, well, they're not gonna have as much fun as it is opposed to a good banlist. Before I begin with this, why don't you go ahead and check out my website, YGOPaisano.com. Look at these absolutely gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous field centers. This is my, the live twin Splice field center. You can't really see it too well, but we'll go over here, and there is right there, absolutely gorgeous field centers. I still have some available. In fact, why don't you go ahead and check my website. Once again, it's YGOPaisano.com. We have tokens, we have field centers, we even sell the NFCs that you can put in the back of your field centers to allow your phone to be programmed by your field center. Actually, I have a video on it on this channel as well. Pretty cool stuff. Listen, I also want to talk about the fact that it was heralded green light. I thought it was green or purple the other day. Well, I found the deck profile. This actually came from China mainland, so not a small event. Roughly around 280 participants. This is an older deck list. It's Shizu T elements, but it did run Herald of Green Light. Me personally, once again, like I said, I bought Herald of Green Light, Herald of Purple Light, Ultimate Rare First Edition. They're really cheap right now, and I'm still waiting for them to ship. I actually had to hit one of the shippers up today going, hey, it's been a week. Can you send my stuff? So once again, the ban list. Why is it so important? Like I talked about earlier, it shapes the way we play the game. And it's really important to talk about these cards. Now, once again, you might not agree with every single card. You might not even say, hey, V, what about X card or Y card? To be honest with you, I don't think there's no wrong answers or right answers. Everything's up for speculation, and if you want to argue one card or another, I'm always fine with that. But the minute you start babbling, complaining, V, why do you want to hit my card in my deck? It's not about that. You have to look at this from a wider perspective of the entire metagame in the TCG. You have to understand the fact that these cards are being hit on here or unlocked from here, well, for the most part, because it's going to make the game healthier moving forward. First card, we'll say this one for last. Alright, next card is going to be Mystic Mine. Now, I think we can all agree Mystic Mine is not a good card. But V, you played Mystic Mine. Or, Mystic Mine's a great card. Just draw the out. Well, that's kind of stupid. The idea of people saying, hey, just draw the out is the most dumbest thing I've ever heard in the trading card game Yu-Gi-Oh! And let me explain why. Now, let's say you're in your room right now, or you're in your car, and I seal the door, okay? You can't get out. And then I start pumping in gas into your car, okay? Toxic poisonous gas, okay? Into your car, into your house, wherever it is, your room, basement, well, I don't care where it is. Wherever you are, you're in the bathroom watching me, you're in the bathroom, boom, poisonous gas, locked door, okay? And you go, let me out, you're banging on, let me out, please, you know, whatever. I'll just go, put a gas mask on. Some decks aren't equipped to play cards in their decks to beat a card that has no archetype specific, well, deck. And that's what Mystic Mine is. It has no archetype. There's not like a Mystic Mine archetype, even though, like, this is a cool picture. There's no full archetype. You can splash this in a ton of decks. Yu-Gi-Oh! Players are playing this in Branded, by the way. Yu-Gi-Oh! Players are playing this in Drytrons, Flunderies. I played this Weekend Extravaganza's cards degenerate, but you gotta play the degens. Yu-Gi-Oh! Players even played a Mystic Mine deck. Once again, no archetypes. It's meant to slowly stall you out until, well, you just get burned to death. Why Mystic Mine's on board, draw the out. It's a terrible argument for a card that's unhealthy in this game. And yes, it helps rogue players, and rogue players love that. But what rogue players don't really understand is, whenever you take that cute little rogue deck that you would smash your kids with at your locals, to a regionals, to a YCS, you will get dominated by meta decks that also play Mystic Mine. Why is that? Well, simple. Their deck's going to do what they need them to do faster because they're a tier deck versus a rogue deck. Not only that, if you somehow slowly and even kind of get the advantage, they're going to slap Mystic Mine on board, putting you back in a disadvantage. You can always make the same argument for Max C. I do have a counter argument to that for Max C. Max C is a lot more unique than Mystic Mine, but ultimately, Mystic Mine itself is just not a good card. It should be banned. You can even argue, well, wait a minute, V. What if we just limited? Cool. I'm not sure if anyone played when Snatch Shield was in a meta. Snatch Shield was limited in our Yu-Gi-Oh! Meta. I believe around, like, the Shadow format, in the beginnings of Shadow, the Trinity format. That card was literally like, oh, hopefully I draw a good card. Oh, look at that. There we go. You can do things now. That's basically what Mr. Mind would become. It would become the top deck staple of Degen City. We don't want this card. And I do think that Yu-Gi-Oh! Players that do like this card love watching YGOPaisano events where players are playing draw go. It's boring. It's not fun. I can't emphasize anymore how bad this card is. Not good for the game. I do play it because, once again, I don't attack the Yu-Gi-Oh! Players playing these cards. We're all given the tools that we have, so why not use them? I get that. But at the same time, hopefully Konami can realize that this card's not healthy for the game. Alright, Pot of Prosperity. What? Why is this here, you might ask? I mean, it's a good question. Why would I talk about Pot of Prosperity? In fact, it's going to get a reprint. That's a really good argument for this card not actually being touched on the ban list. I would have to agree with anyone who makes that argument. It's a really good argument. With that said, Konami has hit pot cards in the past. Most recently, Pot is Eyes, which went to 1, then went to 2. Now, can Prosperity get hit in the ban list? Is this ban list hit worthy? Even though in the OCG, Pot of Prosperity is at 2, they're still playing it at 2 in almost every deck. So once again, is Pot of Prosperity going to be played here? Well, yeah. In fact, my counter argument to that initial claim would be, whenever Konami makes any reprints of any cards, normally afterwards they hit it on the list, meaning Prosperity can be hit in the next ban list or this current ban list coming up. So, I do think it's inevitable that Pot of Prosperity will be getting hit. The question is when it will be getting hit. It is a really good card, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Players that have this card are really doing good things. Well, for their decks, for themselves, not for their opponent. But it's a card that you really don't want to hit with Ash. You really don't, right? But you kind of have to. And I would argue that this card's a better card than Pot of Desires, as you get to, I mean, yeah, minus your extra deck, but does it really matter if you're going to go full combo that turn? Combo decks love this card. And I do think a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Players are excited about getting this card in a 10. So maybe it might not get hit in this ban list, but it's definitely a card to keep an eye out for, is what I want to really point out. Does it need to go to 1? No, I think it could go to 2 and be fine, to be honest with you. It's totally awesome. Now, 2 arguments here. Number 1, Sprites will be OP on their debut. Will they be the craziest best deck in the world? No. The ban list is going to be coming out probably, in my imagination, if I was Konami, a week after the core set Powder Elements come out. That's when I think the ban list will come out. I want it to come out today. I know we all do, but that's probably when it's going to come out. With that said, I'm not sure if you know about Sprites, but they get to reuse this card in the same turn. Totally also just gets to come back and they get to negate another card and set another card. Pretty broken. In fact, Sprites more than likely are going to be playing Totally Awesome again and again and again every turn, meaning you have to deal with Omni Negates every single turn. And you might argue, well, wait a minute, V, we have Adventures. I mean, it's not too crazy, right? Yes and no. Totally Awesome can not only be used in that turn, but also reused in that turn as well, as Sprites can bring it out again. And then they can bring it out the following turn and do the same thing again. A level 2 deck with a card that says, hey, give me 2 level 2 monsters. Is it water monsters, aqua type monsters? Still insanely broken. And I do think that we're going to be seeing this card is going to be seeing a lot of play, unless Konami starts taking preemptive measures to slow this power creep down of Sprites. If that's the case, Team has become the better deck, and we have a flip-flop like what we see in the OCG. Now, I'm not saying any decks you play right now are going to be terrible. I'm not saying that whatsoever. In fact, almost all the decks you're playing right now are still going to be good, up, in my opinion, up into the balance. We're just getting more flavor in the pot. That's what we're looking at with Power Elements. But Tier Elements might be a little bit too much flavor for the pot. Once again, comment down below if you think I'm right or what do you think about that. I would love to hear your opinions on this card. Alright, Dimension Shifter. Ooh, somebody just subscribed. They subscribed to the channel. I was supposed to take it off, but whatever, okay. I don't end my videos. I'm a terrible YouTuber. Dimension Shifter is, well, a really good card. It doesn't only see play in doesn't only see play here in a TCG in just like Flunderies, but we might see this card see play in other future decks. I mean, this card is a really good card, and it gets a lot of decks. They kind of just go past turn. Depending on certain hands, Sorcerer players will pass turn. Depending on almost any hand, Dragon Link players will pass turn. And I think Dimension Shifter is a really good card that Yu-Gi-Oh! Players are kind of sick and tired of. Also, just realize the fact that other Dimension cards have been hit in the ban list. I mean, Dimension Fissure, any card from the field to the graveyard is banished. That card's limited. Limited. Macrocosmos, that card's hitting the ban list. I believe. I could be wrong. Nevertheless, anything that says, oh yeah, this turn everything gets banished, it's pretty much hitting the ban list. There's one other alternative. There's a trap that lets you do it. I'm not sure if it's even going to come up here, but it's a trap card. Activate any card sent from the field to graveyard gets banished. I understand that. The difference between that and Shifter is Shifter stays an extra turn. The minute that and Defissure is Defissure continuous spell. Macrocosmos continuous trap. Basically, what I'm trying to say is anything that passes one turn on as far as banish your cards pretty much is going to be taken care of. And I think it's only a matter of time before we see this card hit on the ban list. Artifact Scythe. Now, it's Konami. They might do Artifact Dagda. They might hit Needle Fiber. We'll talk about that in a second. But Artifact Scythe is a problem. Now, it's not much of a problem right now. Yes and no. I mean, if you're playing Drytron, you're probably giggling because you already know already. Unless you're going Veaynes Ruler, you go this package. You go this package also, and after you go the Artifact package with the TG Wonder Magician, you turn those two right into a Baron. So you get an Omnigate, and your opponent also cannot use an extra deck. Once again, really broken cards here. And Artifact Scythe has been a problem for a while. This isn't new. This isn't a hot take. We know this is a problem, so hopefully Konami fixes it. All right, now let's go on because I need a fiber. I had a buddy hit me up the other day and was like, "Hey man, you think Needle Fiber's getting hit in the ban list?" And I said no, and then he said, "But here's why I think it is." And it was a bunch of like Needle Fiber, bad card, herder. Now, don't get me wrong, I think Needle Fiber is a really good card in this game, but to say Needle Fiber needs to get hit in the ban list is going to be overlooking everything else. Konami's not going to release a ban list and just take a shotgun, and they haven't done it in a while, and just start shotgunning cards to ban. As much as Yu-Gi-Oh! Players will love to say, okay, I play X deck, so let's say I play Thunderies. All these floodgates are going to be hit, and in their mind, Konami's going to shotgun floodgates. It's not necessarily going to happen that way. In fact, more than likely, majority of these cards are still going to be available and playable after the next current ban list. And I think those cards are Needle Fiber. Now, once again, Needle Fiber is a really good card, but it's not to the level of Artifact Scythe. It's not to the level of Mystic Mind. It's not to the level of Totally Awesome. It's a good card, but it's only good for now. Can it get better or worse? Well, the future will tell, especially post-ban list. E-Telly, well, I mean, once again, Ochi, it is hitting the bans. I believe it's semi-limited if not mistaken. And E-Telly is definitely a great card that Yu-Gi-Oh! Players are playing with the Punk engine. The Punk engine only exists, I would argue, for E-Telly. You're not going to use a hard summon on a Punk card. And yes, I understand that's that one Punk card whose name I already immediately forgot. You pitch another whatever and bring them out and cute stuff. But let's be honest, they're not going to be playing all that stuff as big as a Punk engine right now if this card didn't exist. This card being hit in the bans to me is almost inevitable. Could it be limited, semi-limited, banned? You tell me, because I really don't know where it belongs. But this card is broken, and Punks break this card. And once again, I like this card a lot. I love E-Telly as a card. I think it's a really fun card. I enjoy it. But I'm not going to sit here and look at you and say, oh no, this shouldn't be hit in the ban list. This card is so broken, it has to be hit. It enables another alternative engine based off a subset archetypal deck. Is it a deck? Is there any main deck Punk players? I played Punk at my locals in Dubunk, Illinois. It was so good. I destroyed those other kids in my 4-man locals. Absolutely savaged them. Yeah, 2 of them fell asleep. They're 8. They're tired. All right, going over here to El Shadow Window. This is a card everyone thinks should be hitting the ban list. I disagree heavily. Let me explain why. So we're getting 2 new decks. And if you don't know these decks, Tier Limits is a really fast-paced, aggressive tech right off the gate. And well, Splites is almost the same thing. The difference in these two is Splites is utilizing level 2 monsters in a lot of different ways. Link 2s, well, not really Link 2s, but Exceed 2s, all that stuff. And for the most part, Splites are trying to take you to mid-range where they can just have Omni Gates, and then you just run out of resources, and then at that point, kiss your opponent in the top of his head, because you're dead. But looking at Tier Limits, they're a little bit different right now. Right off the gate, Tier Limits are going to be going into cards like Shadow Window. Now, why is that so important? Well, besides the fact that Shadow is the best deck of all time, no question asked, Shadow Window is a card that only lets you point special summon once per turn. Meaning, this card right here is going to be a massive problem for combo decks, and it is making its way back into the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG meta. And once it does, we're not going to see as many aggressive decks. The reason why we're seeing all these crazy combo decks, because this card is taking a nap. It's going to wake up soon. And when Powder Elements come out, it's going to be beating Yu-Gi-Oh's players face in. Your opponent wins dice roll, and they drop Window, you better have the answer immediately, right then and there, or the game for you is pretty much locked away. It's gone. And I do think Shadow Winter is a phenomenal card that will enable Tear Limits to become that deck that Yu-Gi-Oh! Players will have to fear and respect, but yet understand if they want to start creating their own deck that isn't Tear Elements. So once again, I do think this card is healthy for the game. I do think this card is really good, and to be honest with you, Tear Elements play 1, so your argument would have to be this card goes to 1, which, okay, fine, sure. I promise I'll only play 1 Axial Talker 2. Don't limit it to 1. Oh no, Konami. Or Borosaur Dragon. Oh, Konami, please be nice to me. No, not 1 Borosaur Dragon. Anything but the card I only play 1 of. The next argument would be it has to be banned. And if you're scared about this card getting banned, then you should be worried about cards like Summon Limit, you know, another Floodgate. Or you should be worried about other cards that have these little things that you just need to out. What happened? Draw that out. And the same Yu-Gi-Oh! Players that will argue about Mystic Mind saying draw that out would argue about this card saying it should be banned. Yu-Gi-Oh's in a weird state right now, and I love it, and I hate it, and I'm married to it. We're going to talk about E-Telly. Oh, Veaynes Emphasis. Should this card come off the ban list? I really don't know. You asked me last meta, I'd say absolutely. This meta, I honestly have zero idea. Me personally, I own a secret rare, I own a bunch of commons and a bunch of super rares. That's just me as a Yu-Gi-Oh! Player personally. And when the ban list comes out, and if this was to go to 1, you goddamn, I'm keeping a common first edition, I'm keeping a secret first edition, and I'm selling it to all the suckers, customers that are suckers because they should have bought it early. All right, listen. I do think Veaynes Emphasis is a card that I think will eventually make its way off the ban list. People get upset about that. They're going to be annoyed about that. But here in TCG, I think this card coming off is inevitable. 100% inevitable. Is it fair? Well, welcome to Yu-Gi-Oh! Go play Yu-Gi-Oh! Against a Plunk Adventure player and play a tier 2 deck. And then you tell me what's fair. Not a lot of things. But I do think that Veaynes Emphasis is definitely a card to help mitigate game states. And yeah, it's not fair. It's a broken card, but I do think it would see play given the circumstances. We'll talk about Maxine in a second, but what I want to do right now is read your comments because I love some of your comments. Jonathan Gandy says, I bought a Venture token Friday. Got in the mail today. Absolutely beautiful. Definitely buy more in the future. Thank you, Jonathan. I really appreciate it. Once again, YGOPaisano.com. If you guys want to check it out, I'd greatly appreciate it. It means a lot to me. Let's see what else we got here. I'm going to read some of your comments. There was one I liked. Okay. P Sparks the Hotness SS says, video was informative, but it was pretty hard to understand you a lot of times. Try slowing down your speaking a bit. I speak fast and my brain forms the words as well, lol. And things should come across more clear. Thanks for the video. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate you, brother. You know, being a content creator here on YouTube, it's not easy doing videos. Because when I do my videos, I feel like I'm talking to just a regular random person that we're just hanging out and having a good time. And I do talk really fast. I was raised in a household that spoke Latin. Well, not really Latin, but Spanish and Italian. And very little English. So and if you never heard someone speak those languages, it's a really fast-paced language. You're going, and you're sitting there going, I think dinner's ready. Like, you just don't know. It's a really, really fast-paced language. So growing up as me speaking English, because my whole family told me I should only speak English, because everyone, you know, America's the best country in the world. They love it, and I love it. I picked up that speed of language. And it's really hard when I do these videos, me personally. It almost feels like at times I'm talking with an accent when I talk slow and enunciate my words. Cause it's not easy. It's very difficult for me. It's 1,000 times easier talking really fast to you and getting the words out there. Just and you eat and get in the ear. But I understand not everyone can hear that, so I do try to talk hard. Try to talk in a way that I can get to a more broader audience, and I hope I do. I honestly do hope, and I honestly try. I used to get really offended by that, but I don't anymore. Not only do I not get offended by it, I totally understand why people will be upset about that. And I'm not just saying you, but other people go, "Hey, man, what's going on? Like, I want to hear you, but you're speaking too fast." Some people are used to it, but some are not, and I understand that. And I'm trying to talk to everybody because I don't want nobody to be left out. So I appreciate that comment. Let's see. I think you mean Paladin. Oh, yeah, because I was... all right. Let's see. I heavily disagree on sales ban. You can declare any card... I think he says... Listen, if you're going to disagree with me, please don't state the card effect I stated in the video and actually talked about. Like, I disagree with you on Pot of Greed. The card effect states, as a spell speed, you can draw 2 cards. It's like, yes, we all saw the video. And there's no need to even have the card in your deck at all. You don't have to run one copy of every hand chop, hoping your opponent has it like Cross the Designator. Sure. The problem between Cross the Designator, though, and Salesman in that situation, as you put it, Cross the Designator is a quick play spell. Meaning I can do something, or you can do something, and I have it set, and I can activate it. Salesman, you just activate, and you go, I don't fucking know. Hope you don't have Ash. And then your opponent goes, I got Imperm. Get wrecked. So I get what you're trying to say, but it's not that good of an argument in the grand scheme of things. Okay, Mega Fun Time. He says, no one has ever said Salesman is the best card at Battle of Chaos. People said it's underlooked, but never the best. I never said all Yu-Gi-Oh! Players says the best card. I said Salesman is a card that is overrated. And I still feel that. I still feel Salesman is a heavily overrated card. The price point proves me right by the fact that it used to be worth a lot more money, and it's went down significantly. And it's not because I hate the card. Had the card been a quick play spell, well, it'd probably be Cross Designated, but just better. It'd be insane. But it's not. It's a regular spell, and that takes into play the card. Now, you might go, V, I still disagree with you, and that's fine. You can totally disagree with me, but look up deck lists of the Remoto Extravaganza that happened this weekend. Look up deck lists of the top players in Nationals. Look up deck lists of Regionals, and find me players. And not just like one guy in some random Regionals that was like 80 people over here. No. Find me somewhere like, I don't know, California, New York, Nationals, big Regionals, YCS, that's playing Salesman. Find me. And not just like one guy, a lot of players. Once again, I'm only attacking a card based on the information given to us by the Yu-Gi-Oh! Meta. I look into all these deck lists constantly as a competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! Player, and I want to understand what is being used and what's not and why. That's very important. Stop trying to drive the price down lower when you are the one who secretly wants a playset for $1. This is the dumbest conspiracy theory I heard of, but I love conspiracy theories like more than you know. So what this person's saying is, I'm trying to say these cards are bad so I could buy a lot of them. Got him. The dumbest conspiracy theory. I love Yu-Gi-Oh! Players, but goddamn, you guys come up with the most dumbest. Like, and the thing about this conspiracy theory is, it makes no sense, by the way. So, Salesman couldn't be any cheaper. It's in a set Battle of Chaos, which more like is going to be in the Megatons, meaning it's going to be getting a reprint. So if I was a, let's say, Devil's Advocate, I was secretly the Yu-Gi-Oh! Illuminati and wanted this card over here to just drop in value. What's less than $3? $2. Got him. $1. Oh, suckers all around. This might be in the, I'm pretty sure this is in the Megatons. Am I wrong? Listen. If Salesman gets reprinted in Megatons, wouldn't I get burned on that? Why would I want this card to go? If anything, I would say, hey, listen, everybody, don't buy this card. Don't buy this card. Definitely don't buy this card, okay? You don't want to buy it. Don't buy this card. Don't buy this card. Don't buy. Like, I would be telling you not to buy your valuable cards, and then that would make more sense. A $3 card, what hopes would I want to go down less to? $3 is a joke. And if you think I'm here trying to buy a ton of a card, it wouldn't goddamn be Salesman. It would be something like Cross-Out Designated. And in fact, you know what? I had a revelation. I think you should all sell your Cross-Out Designators, but compete and lower the prices. And then I'll buy them all up. Yu-Gi-Oh! Illuminati. This is a new symbol now. This is a new symbol. Okay? You can do it. You can join it. It's easy. Just tell everyone to sell cards that you want to buy. Because Mega Fun Time over here with the Helsing picture, it says Yu-Gi-Oh! Illuminati. Dumbest argument I've heard in my entire life. But I've heard this argument before, by the way. Like, other people have commented this before. They're like, you just wanted to make the card go down lower so you could buy it. Or the opposite, the almost autistic twin brother of this argument was, well, V, the only reason you're talking about Mermails is because you want to sell it. We're not that stupid. You are. All right. It's a good card for locals, for people who start the game and can't buy Imperm, for example, or can't buy Dark Ruler. So this card's $3. After a couple of sales, it does go almost near $4. Look at that. Ooh. Oh, my trick isn't working. Looking at Dark Ruler no more. Dark Ruler no more. Oh no, it's $2. Damn it. Yu-Gi-Oh! Illuminati. This is the reverse Illuminati. This one's the one that just makes dumb fucking arguments like this kid. Just terrible fucking takes. Also, if you're a new player and you're playing Salesman, you are getting a great lesson in cards that are not good. I'd rather you pay less and play Dark Rule no more, because there's a chance you can actually be able to play the game, which I hear is good for Yu-Gi-Oh! Players. I hate and love this argument. This is what you... Okay. What did I miss? Just because high-tier players don't play it doesn't mean it's not being used on the budget side of things. That's exactly what I mean. If you're trying to play competitive Yu-Gi-Oh!, whether it's locals, regionals, YCS, nationals, you know, competitive Yu-Gi-Oh!, and you play dead-ass cards, garbage dank cards, you're not playing on a high competitive level. Meaning someone like me could just walk in. I see everyone sitting down talking about powerful cards, talking about I can't wait to roll out my sales ban. It's unlimited. It's not first edition. I can't wait to roll that card out on these suckers in my Blue Eyes deck. And I'm sitting there going, this is the freest goddamn price support I've ever seen in my life. And then the store owner goes, Yu-Gi-Oh players, $10 a box. We're $10 for a box tournament. And I'm like, can we double up 20s? I'll be that guy. Because I'm going to walk in and take all your price support and walk out, and as you explain to me why Salesman's good, as I'm outside having a cigarette, the only thing I'm thinking of, when am I going to be pulling my 2 boxes from these suckers that are playing dead-ass cards? Because I'm ready to play competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, with that said, and I just said all that, I just trash Yu-Gi-Oh! A lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Locals, a lot of butt hurts, okay? A lot of butt cheeks right there, okay? Hemorrhoid popping out a little bit, but mostly butt cheeks. Listen, for casual Yu-Gi-Oh! It's completely the opposite. In fact, in casual Yu-Gi-Oh! You can play whatever you want, including cards like Salesman. That's fine. No big deal. I have no problems with casual Yu-Gi-Oh! Players. Zero. In fact, I'm glad you're playing cards like Salesman. Someone's got to play it, and I'm glad you are. Have fun with it. Seriously. It's a good card for casual locals. But if you bring that shit into a fucking card shop with competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! Players, you are the belle of the ball. They will laugh at you as they OTK you every single time. Deadass. Like, we're just, let's, do you want to win or not? Like, if some people go, V, I want to win, but I want to have fun. Yeah, I want to be married to 2 women, but I only get 1. So guess what? You get what you get, and you don't get upset. Choose what you want to do, okay? You can't have fun and be competitive in this game. I mean, you can, but, I mean, let's be honest with you. A majority of players want to have fun by playing garbage cards and saying, I'm having a good time, as you go 0-3 figuring out, can you even get 1 pack out as locals? No. All right, end the rant. Listen, I appreciate all your comments. Even you make a fun time. I do love you, and hopefully you still keep commenting, buddy. I'm not trying to shun you 100%, but I think I disagree with your comment, but I do appreciate your comment. And I appreciate everybody. Free shipping to Germany. No, I'm not shipping overseas. Sorry. Let's see. Well, Salesman is better than any gold card. It's just the same. If Salesman was in Gold Series, I wouldn't see it as any different. Gold Series is terrible. I've talked about why it's terrible many a times. And if you have gold cards, no big deal. I just want you to understand that those cards are nowhere near as good as their other counterpart. More than likely, it's secret first editions and stuff like that. All right, listen. I appreciate everybody commenting. I read the comments all the time. I love your comments. I love everybody watching my video. I was going to talk about Max C, but this video went a little bit too long. You already know how I feel about Max C. I'm not going to give you a whole diatribe about Max C, but this is a great card. Don't get the gold version. Have a little self-dignity. It's your boy V, and you guys have a great day. Please subscribe to the channel. Don't unsubscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Go tell your friends. The ones that play Salesman. Get them in here. The free price support kids. Free trade binder value kids. Bring them in here. It's your boy V, and you guys have a great day.